Welcome to Daily Fortune, where we talk about the latest topic about finance and investment. But before that, please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload new videos. Now, let's get started. I don't remember a time where I was told not to study. I believe I am speaking for most when I say we were always told the opposite. We most of the time stress ourselves studying the things we were told will benefit us in the future. And though this may seem true, have you ever imagined how great it is that you study not just one detail, but a lot, and that you retain them for a good a year, and some you even have to carry for a few more years? Amazing works for our brain, right? And the effort just doubles as we progress in our studies. Even more so when we dream of finishing the race with flying colors. There are just too many experiences to acknowledge in the era of studying. Times where you just don't know what to do anymore, times where you feel like finally exploding, times where you feel like you just can't carry on, even times where you feel like you're just abused mentally and emotionally. You would read book upon books, solve problems upon problems, on top of dealing with personal matters, which are so hard to deal with. Even more so with studies hanging at the edge of the bridge. And what's worse, even on the verge of experiencing them all, people look up to you like you're going to reach the top, only to find out you barely even reached the bottom of the ladder. Looking back, it may all seem funny, but the agony in finishing studies was just not easy. Every student is different, and so one study technique doesn't necessarily apply to everyone else. Some read day in and day out, while blessed are our friends who have photographic memories, who can basically remember and retain a lot of information in just one glance. Some students find it effective to study while listening to music, others prefer calm and quiet. Some prefer to study and then reward themselves with sleep, while the others sleep first and then study before the day starts. There are students who eat while studying, while others prefer not to even move their mouth while doing it, with the fear that they may fall asleep. There are also some who find it effective to read aloud when studying, not minding how loud they are becoming. Some succeeded in studying with the help of peers, who are also comfortable studying in groups, while others act as their own island and do not get involved with such things. But don't you know that there are techniques to study well that are applicable to every student, whether or not you are into studying alone or in groups, loves to listen to music or not, a loud reader or just a silent one, literally every student? And actually one of the best ways to study is just in the way we do our readings. Let's talk about some of them and see for yourself if it's worth giving a try. And if you're already doing the tips we'll later talk about, let us know if it was effective for you. Focusing on the core and principles of every concept. There are a lot who go through pages after pages and find themselves lost still after reading. The most likely reason is that they just read, but don't comprehend that they miss the basic, core, and main idea of what they're reading, that they find themselves going back to square one, rereading it again, wasting another set of hours with the very same material. It is actually better to read in a short amount of time, if you know what you're reading, than spending lots and lots of time reading more books and materials, but not really getting the concept. And so if you ask both of them what the book was all about, the first one with a shorter amount of time to study will be able to answer more briefly. If you know what you're reading, you'll know what to look for when you continue reading it. Another technique is to write what you study. This is actually best applicable in a class who requires more in recitation. The things you study, read, and then try to memorize in preparation for a recitation, you can try to assess whether or not you're already ready if you can actually write what you've studied so far. Writing what you have studied is said to be the best for the retention of details. But, mind you, writing using iPads or laptop is different when you really do it with a piece of paper and a pen. The third one is one of the most effective and a very interesting one. It's called the Parkinson's Law. Parkinson's Law was first used in a sentence by C. Northcote Parkinson. It talks about how work expands to fill the time available for its completion. This is a very interesting point, as no matter how much you need to accomplish or how huge a project may seem, you are the one who can control how long it will take to finish them. If you have set the time to finish a whole chapter of a book with 10 pages in 15 minutes, that's how long it will take to finish a chapter of a book of 10 pages. If you set 30 minutes to finish cleaning the whole house, that's how long it will take to finish cleaning the whole house. To make the point even clearer, if you don't set a time as to how long you will finish studying, it'll be harder to get things done, as you will think you have the whole day to do so. Lastly, influence yourself with the same students who have the same goal as you. Befriend those who are on top of the pyramid and take all their actions as an inspiration and know what you can still do to improve all your actions towards your studies. Ask questions and learn from them. Adapt their traits and make it a healthy competition. There are actually a lot more ways to study in the best positive way without putting so much pressure and acting insanely just to meet the deadline. An example is the point to ponder. If you can do it now, do it now. But we don't really apply this as students, do we? Imagine how much time we can save if we apply this one. We won't have to cram during deadlines, squeeze a little first scan of notes before every quiz, and navigate during class to answer an assignment for the next subject. But most of us, that's right, even I'm guilty that I don't usually do what can be done right away, and wait for that force called deadline, waving in the corner to drive me crazy, and do it in flash mode, sometimes compromising my output. At the end of the day, what will determine how far you can go in studying in proportion to the effort you put in is the efficiency of your study habits. The quality of your study time is more important than the amount of time you spend on studying. You can pull an all-nighter all you want and still not be able to have the right amount of learning. Longer hours of study do not directly correlate to the amount of work you've done studying. Study smart, not hard. There is actually one more study tip I can give you on how to study more effectively. Listen to your body. When your body is already refusing to receive additional data for the day, get some rest and go to sleep. Go with what your body is most comfortable doing while studying. Enjoy the process of studying. It's hard enough we have to study, even more so when we have to do it with an exceedingly high amount of pressure. Treat yourself well, and soon enough you'll see yourself being rewarded with accomplishments associated with all the effort you gave. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something from today's video, and to get updated with the next videos, please don't forget to hit the notification bell. See you next time!